Now tuned into something super tight. Puffin' something sticky, nigga, I roll through the light. Need to hear something real just to get me through the night. I'm looking for them jackets cause I know they looking shy. Know I'ma get some game, tuned in with super tight, yeah. I get the low love from Big Bobo, from the front seat, not no photos.
Already, baby, what it do? It's your big dog, Bobo Luciano. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in to Super Tight TV. We back, up your back, going smack, smack, smack. Just like that. I hope it feel good to you too, because it damn sure feel good to me. I got my sexy ass, gorgeous, beautiful wife.
It's your girl, Jazzy K.
In the building. Mm-hmm. Jazzy K got 2 cups today, y'all.
I got 2 cups.
What's in this
one for the water and one for the liquor.
What's in that one, baby? What are you drinking today?
A Cosmopolitan.
Cosmo, okay. Just a little light.
And some water.
Something light, refreshing.
Water in my super tight cup.
In your pimp cup.
I want one of those.
Yeah. Y'all can order those online.
Pimp juice.
That's real. That's real. Today we got a special guest.
Yes, we do.
Man, a new family member has arisen and risen. What? That's it, right?
A new family member has risen and rising.
Has arisen.
Has arrived.
He's like
say
God. You know
say
he's
arisen.
Arrived. He's arisen.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I'm talking about?
Help us, Kenny.
Y'all got it.
I am D. Walks in the building.
Yes, sir.
I am D. Walk.
What's going on? What's happening, man?
That's another Oak Cliff brother right there, man.
Oh,
hey,
really?
that's my hood, man.
Hey,
shout out to Hot Boy Star, man. Free the
Hot
boy.
Boy
Still
Star.
see the boy. You know what I'm saying?
He know us. He know me especially.
Oh, he got to.
I asked him who played the song first.
All right, I believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asked him who played that song first.
Yeah.
Bobo broke that song in Dallas.
That's what's up.
I'm talking in third person.
Yeah, you are.
No, you can do that, though.
You
That's who
always
you are.
do that, but it's okay. We'll let
It's
you.
cool.
She said I always do that.
He does.
If you didn't do it, it might
You
be a
do it
problem.
like Kenny?
Bobo did that. Bobo said.
Y'all got it.
Bobo.
No, I just want y'all to hear me out.
Kenny, I love when you try to be neutral, but you know, you're going to have to pick a side.
I mean, it's not picking sides. It's really just.
I mean, pick a
Let me
side.
know so I know what to fix.
Just let him know, because he talks in third person. It's fine. He does it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's hard being Bobo.
It be in a super tight cup. That's
It's
what
hard being Bobo.
It gets
It's
the people going, huh?
It does.
Yeah, the cup. Gets
We're going to
people
let
going.
you make it.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing wonderful. I appreciate y'all for
Yes,
welcoming me into the neighborhood, into the community, into the
Yes.
culture. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you for coming and thank you for blessing us
Please.
with this wonderful poetry.
Yes.
Spoken word.
Spoken
Say
word.
Spoken
Yes,
word.
Spoken word.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta
Yeah.
snaps and ashes and all of that
Snap your
stuff.
fingers.
Yes. Incense.
Do your
going
stuff.
there.
Yeah. I got a snap your finger song. I do. I do. Yeah, it's a snap your finger song on there.
So you know that she's sitting at the Texas table, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if
I
you
just realized.
Yeah.
And then Dallas is right. That's why the star.
Exactly.
Come on, baby.
So
Star City.
you remember the Apollo stump, right?
Yes, sir.
You remember how you had to come out and rub that? We do it for different reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, he
We
young enough
wanted-
to remember
Yeah,
Apollo.
we want it for positive energy.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We want you to take some with you for your life and your career, but also leave a little bit for us, and our family members, so we can prosper as well.
Amen.
So I get you to rub the blue star for us, please, sir.
Absolutely, man. We rubbing the blue star. man.
Already. That's beautiful, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, that's a nice little delicate one.
Yeah, we gotta be.
Some niggas be rough with it, bro.
Yeah, listen. I use the moment. There are moments for to be rough. There
Yes.
are moments to be just not
That's
rough.
true.
You know
I
what I'm
see.
saying?
There's some women like to be choked. You know what I'm saying?
I just saw something about that.
Me too.
Like, it was like women like to be choked. I was like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Listen.
Yeah.
Don't even get no ideas.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying? How you choke somebody?
Because I ain't with the shit.
Yeah, choking has never been associated with pleasure for me.
But when you got in the comments, did you get in that comment section?
No,
The
I didn't.
comments, I got
Bro,
in the comments.
said, "Oh, I love it."
I got in the comments.
The women was like, "Oh, yes."
And you know what?
Slut me out. No,
Some of them, I didn't hear anyone saying "slut me out," but I did gain some interesting insight as to why one may want to be choked.
why?
I mean, just like I saw a comment that said it adds a healthy level of toxicity to the relationship.
Oh,
And Cardi B said,
what she said?
"Nigga love a toxic hoe." So
But you love a toxic nigga because it's the nigga that's choking the
I
girl.
mean, I'm just saying. it was adding a healthy level of toxicity, is what the comment said.
I heard.
And I was like, okay.
Did you hear that it does something as far as taking them right before death?
Yeah, so it's more of like a psychological. From what I do, like not understand about just reading about it, but just psychological. What people say about it is like it's something that does.
The last girl you choked, what did she say?
Nothing.
Chocolate damn near up.
but being on the we want to be in spaces that are dangerous but not unsafe, and so danger is what kind of gets the it's adrenaline. It's adrenaline. It's like when you were a kid and you would be in a place you weren't supposed to be with somebody you weren't supposed to be with, and that's what drove that. So it's the same premise.
See, I wasn't that kid because I would be too scared.
Yeah, you would.
My mama was crazy.
No,
my mama had a big old stick.
My mama had a stick. Yeah, you got a stick,
a house shoe, a hanger. That's how we grew up.
So wifey like to go down through there, so people can tap in with you and get to know you a little bit better. And so, I believe in ladies first.
Okay.
You don't have a choice.
Oh, my bad.
No. So we were already talking a little bit before off camera. I'm excited.
Keep on going.
Tell everybody where you from.
Can I spell it for them?
Yes.
Hey.
All right, it's a couple of letters. O-A-K-C-L-I-F-F.
Hey.
Hey, I didn't want we gotta get. I didn't want to say the whole thing. We might have to get the licensing for it, but yeah, man. Oak Cliff, Dallas, Texas, right off Polk Street.
Hey, Polk.
Yeah.
What junior high school did you go to?
I went to what used to be called Atwell.
That was my school.
I went to Atwell.
Yeah.
Like Dean with the Brown.
Oh no!
See, I'm thinking
Adele
about
Turner.
I was Adele Turner. I did Adele Turner.
I went to Adele Turner.
I did Adele Turner at Will, and of course the David W. Carter High School.
Really?
Yeah.
Why you got to put that "the" in front of it?
I mean, that's how they do when they on the on the football on Monday Night Football, and they get the announcing the Ohio State.
Yeah, it's the. I mean, everybody knows about Dallas Carter. Shakari.
They do. They know y'all for a lot of
Steve
things.
Nice. I mean,
DJ Steve.
D-Walk. I mean,
Oh yeah.
In fact, I was drum major.
Were you?
My year, yeah.
You do all that
Hey man, I did it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, big shout out to Mr. B, Mr. Sims, the band directors, my co-drum major Bridget. But yeah, we were doing our thing, and it was, you know how it is.
Yeah, I know.
You already know what that sets up.
I was in a band in middle school.
How you moving all that polyester though?
Listen, when you know how to move, you know how to move, man.
It don't matter what you got on, right?
Yeah, listen,
you came up in the D-Town Boogie era.
Hey,
too.
we did right there. I mean, that was part of the dance and how we like the culture of what we did. We didn't call it the D-Town Boogie; it was just what we did.
Yes,
and so part of I remember my drum major routines included like the back bend and just that boogie kind of move. You know what I'm saying?
Did you do that? Did you ever do the shake?
I did. I did as much as I was able to do.
You can't go all the way back with that thing.
Yeah, I did that. I didn't know. I went all the way back to the back of my head.
Oh
yeah, and then got right back up. Come on.
Can you still do it?
That's for the pay-per-view.
That's for the wife.
I don't have one. I don't have one of those. We're working on it.
Yeah, keep working.
But yeah, Dallas is a very important place for me. Not only is where I'm like from and grew up, but just I realized a lot of history throughout the nation and throughout the world centers right back to Dallas. And so realizing that, and the more I understood and really jumped into it, was more really when I learned more about me. The same with my family,
And that's one of the things I can say I appreciate about your album. He has a beautiful spoken word album. You need to check it out. That's what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of history in the album. You gonna learn.
Yeah,
if you tap in and listen.
Even if you don't, for whatever you do like or don't like, there's more to focus on what you can like about the album. And so just the types of genres. I mean, when you say spoken word, a lot of times we refer back to Love Jones and the we.
No, it's not that.
No, it ain't that.
No, it's not that.
This is just some dope beats.
This is me as a musician.
Yes.
Right? So when I mentioned being at Carter High School and being drum major, that's an influence. And so I have a musical understanding.
So what all instrument did you play?
So in marching band, I played drum set at church.
Okay.
Started playing that at church, and I got into the marching band at Carter High School, and started playing it. Got in a jazz band. And so Mr. B introduced me to jazz band. My dad introduced me to jazz music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we used to ride around when I was a kid, and he had a little convertible Fiat, and we were listening to Boney James, and we were listening to Stanley Clarke, and like all of these just musical geniuses. Well, also on my mom's side of the family, my uncles and they had a quartet, and so music and entertaining and being in front of people has always been a part of who I am. So this album really embraces all aspects of that, and so you get a chance to experience me as a drummer, but also I produce music for TV and film.
Oh, lovely.
And you produced this entire project, correct?
Produced, yeah. So of course I had some other contributors as far as the composition and the direction. There were some other people who worked with me.
Okay.
And the direction of everything musically is centered around me. Like I literally have notes with written like cinematic tuba marching band score. Okay, I need this to be this. I need some jazz fusion. Okay, so I'm composing this.
I got you.
So I'm directing it because
Quincy Jones.
I'm Quincy. Yes. Quincy Jones. That is literally it.
Oh, really? Because
That's what's up.
he's a dope producer as well.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So at what point did you get into poetry?
So poetry became a thing actually probably less than a year ago.
Really? Wait a minute now. Hold up.
So let me say, to be fair,
Yeah, come on.
I've
You
always
didn't just wake up with the.
well,
come on now.
so I didn't wake up with poetry. I woke up understanding poetry and understanding how to write first.
Okay.
So the better I was able to write, whether it's a press release or a marketing plan or a social media or a business plan or just writing a lecture or writing a song, I knew that I could write.
Okay.
And so,
Have you ever been a rapper?
Come on now.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
What was your rap name? We gotta ask.
It was the same. It's me. Everything is me.
D-Walk.
I am D-Walk. Yeah, I am D-Walk. You know,
I had to ask because,
No,
usually we hear, I started off writing poetry and now
then
I'm
I
a
started
rapper.
rapping.
But you started out rapping, but now you've gone into the writing side, more of the poetry side.
well, I started out
spoken word.
right, and it's spoken word after because it's written first, you know, and I do freestyle and all those things. But
You can't freestyle no spoken word.
why can't you?
What?
Yeah, why can't
Oh
you?
shit! Don't
Listen.
don't threaten me.
Are we right? Like, but if we listen to it, are we speaking words right now?
Yes.
We are.
That's speaking with intention.
And we freestyling.
Freestyle. Like
You know what I'm saying? But it costs you. You know what I'm saying?
Off the dome.
Hey, it ain't free.
Hey man, everything got a cost to it.
sound like
There's
some
no
Pimp
free
C
lunch.
shit.
Hey, yeah. Hey, another influence, like for real. You know what I'm saying?
You was a PLC fan?
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah.
How
What's-
can you,
what's
wait,
more
you
than a
can't live
fan?
in Oak Cliff and you can't be from Texas and not be a pimp?
Like my
fan?
cousins in Ennis, Texas, my cousin used to have a white. He had a white Mustang 5.0 with Dayton's on it,
Oh,
and he had some fans too.
okay.
Like he would be putting speakers in people's cars, and that's what he was listening to.
That's how you test
Ball
those
and
speakers, sir.
Yeah.
That
Ball and
bass,
G and
Ball and
UGK.
G, you Scarface, Ghetto Boy, like all of that.
Oh yeah.
My big
You
cousins.
came up right then.
My big cousins put me into the game. I didn't realize. I didn't realize what I learned until I got older. But the introduction of that sound, like it's a couple records on there. It sounds like a bluesy kind of like
Give me an
church.
example.
What's it? Track number 3
On what album?
on my album.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, on my album. So on my
Oh, yeah,
album,
yeah,
on my
yeah.
album, it's very much that country rap. It's country rap tunes.
Brown bag.
Brown bag, exactly. Brown bag.
So
What?
I was gonna ask about.
Well,
But
that's
go
the song
ahead.
he's talking about.
Well, so I'm saying, you know, the things that have inspired me, I put into this album,
Okay, yeah.
right? So that is Pimp C, but also understanding I could flip it into something of my own, because a pimp can be someone who utilizes opportunity,
Exactly.
right? As a public intellect with morals and principles.
Ooh, you hear put that acronym on pimp.
I did.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So we can embrace and understand culture even if it's not what we prefer or like. And so I understood that if somebody hears pimp, they automatically think about,
Oh yeah, pimp in the pantry.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is not an unfair, perception.
Oh,
and
for
at
sure.
the same time, we're gonna flip it on you. And I'm gonna use it in every space I go to as a public intellect, morals and principles.
There you go.
I like the way you do it.
And even
Well-
pimps got that.
Hey,
Yeah, they do.
now I told you coming up, my favorite. I mean, I hit you coming up the
Yeah.
stairs.
Yeah.
The evolution It's not to be televised.
Yeah, man.
Yes, your evolution
Let me tell you something.
will not be televised.
Will not be televised. That was a good one.
Thank you. I appreciate
That
it.
was heartfelt
That was
right there.
deep.
Real deep.
Because it speaks to everything that's going on right now.
Yes.
All these likes and followers and
Never sell your soul for likes.
yes.
Not even your soul. Yeah. And just the fun part of it was the wordplay. And I wrote it just an observation of things that it's two things that we either inspired or instructed.
Yeah.
And so I was also instructed. So I was just seeing some of my activity online and how I was responding, and how not even just how I was responding, but how my body responded to did I get a notification or not? Or if I did get a notification and it was like only an automation notification or
Not a bot.
right. So I started to really
Be conscious to that.
conscious and be in the moment and check myself. It's like, okay, never sell your soul for likes. Even with my album, I've not put advertising dollars into it. My objective is not, I don't want to put ads into it. I want this album to be introduced to people in a natural, in a simple way. Now,
That's just like us.
organic and organic move can happen at scale. And so my way of being organic was going straight for the Grammys.
Ooh.
Now, speaking of
And we did hear that you are being considered for a Grammy, right?
Absolutely.
we got some
Absolutely.
good news. Possibly win.
Probably November 10th, we will find out the absolute Grammy status. I'm really looking forward to it. And just everything leading up to that, even just producing the album, doing the
And let's
press.
talk about that for those that don't know. So, what is that process? How do you find out?
First of all, this
That
is a
you-
new category, right?
It's a new category. So this is the second year. Jay Ivy, big shouts out to Jay Ivy. Jay Ivy won last year in the first year. And then this is the second year for spoken word category.
Lovely.
That's just another part of me being aware of what's going on and creating a situation for, people who are interested in what I'm able to create from a musical standpoint, from a spoken word standpoint, but just even my ideas. So going for the Grammys meant working with my partner, Anderson Music Group, to get that, and him really understanding the business part of that, the components of that was basically he and I having a conversation, and I let him hear a couple tracks. He said, "Oh yeah, let's do this." So it's less about the Grammys and more about we two black guys who are have an opportunity to do something together.
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying?
Working
and
well
then
together.
from there, all of our friends are with the label or in musicianship. One of my good friends, so. It only made sense to be amongst peers doing that. So then he was able to work a deal for distribution with Empire Records.
Ooh, not Gazi.
Right? I mean,
That's the guy. That's who it is. Right?
yeah. No, I'm just saying this that works. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Oh,
And
yes.
So when we're talking about, just mentioned, say, oh, how do I do this in the most organic way? It is identifying key relationships and using inspiration and instruction to catch people and utilize. So being able to even be on Super Tight TV and be able to say that, like, yo, the people who influenced, who are living the lives that influenced me, I get to share what their influence was and their inspiration was. That's what Super Tight is. That's what the culture is.
Hey, thank you.
Hey,
'Cause that's what it is for us.
that's exactly what it is.
For sure.
Because we tend to have a moderately older fan base.
It's growing. It's getting more diverse.
It is. But if you look at the graph on our portal, most of our fans, I think, are between 35 and 55. Yeah, that's the majority.
Yeah,
And that's y'all. That's
that's
me.
us.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So, and we came up in that era where we did get that Scarface. We did get the Ghetto Boys. We did get that Ball and G.
Yeah.
We did get
Outkast,
Outkast, UGK.
G Goody Mob,
Yeah.
my dude,
Come on, man.
Nemesis,
Ooh,
DOC,
stop it.
right?
Yes,
Dre,
All of
right?
it.
Now you
Yeah.
talking.
right?
Yeah.
Dre
And we got Future.
I'm about to say,
Yeah.
we got
And we
everything
got
after.
Jeezy, and we got
Yes,
T.I., and we
yes.
got Slim, and we got Mike Jones, like all of
We
that.
got it
You know what I'm
all.
saying? And what I'm
Born in a
saying,
good era.
I've been able to see it or experience it in its infancy and its in its maturity.
Yes. Oh, you sound like me. What I used to say, baby, I used to say the same words. If you go look at that Dallas DVD,
Yeah, but I mean, so
we did.
and that's the part that I'm most excited about to reference and work with within this album is like everyone I let hear it. I had a young lady, she was retired teacher, and she just wrote, "This is a masterpiece. This is this, this is this." But I got some of my nephews and cousins and other people who are listening and like singing my songs back. So, you know, it's very cool that I've created something and been a part of something that helps just bind the generations.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's really, it's hard. We just got a lot of not working together right now.
You know, and why is that?
Well, I don't have an absolute answer, but I think one of the contributing factors is that we haven't identified the common unity of our communities.
And that's true. That's true. That's a major. And I'm always like, how do we move forward to identifying that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
educating yourself.
It's education, but listen.
It's also being receptive to the education. It's also
that, but everyone loves, like, who doesn't love a good song?
Music is the key to life.
Music. Who doesn't like? So identifying. So what I'm saying is that we understand how to identify things that we like.
Yes.
You know, before I let go, like, right? Like, what about that brings us all together?
Oh yeah.
Right.
And how do we replicate that and duplicate that? Well, my objective is to utilize my album, my spoken word, my ideas to bring, you know, communities that may have normally been separate, bring them closer together.
That's beautiful.
I want poets to understand that rappers are very significant. I also want rappers to understand that poets have a significant history in the ability for rap to be a thing in itself.
yeah.
Yes.
Right? And even if we, you know, now we're talking about hip hop and the elements and the culture of hip hop, man. Like, yo, there's so much of it has been commodified, businessified, that the elements of what made it make it
watered down, right?
Well, I mean, we can say watered down, but just made it spread the way it spread. Right.
Commercialized it.
Right. Which, you know, commercialization happens
Yes.
at some point. There's also the elements of that are never lost. And I think the closer we get to those elements, the better we are about how we connect the dots.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Because jazz, you know, jazz is nothing different than scatting. What's the difference between scatting and jazz and the triplet pattern that Migos did and Bone Thugs and Harmony and Chameleon there?
Ooh.
If you look at it like that,
It's not really that much of a difference. Like, there's not a big difference between Chameleon. Listen, Future's a blues singer. He like the way he talks about love and tells stories of like really overcoming dark situations.
Yeah.
He's a modern day blues singer.
a blues rap singer.
Absolutely.
Already.
You know, even Pimp C country rap tunes. Wait, we country around here.
Yeah, we are.
You know, we didn't have subways,
And
but
that's
we
what
had
I
cars though.
love
Yes, we did
about
slabs.
We had We didn't have abandoned buildings. We had bandos.
Bando.
We did have abandoned apartments and abandoned
all that.
Oh yes.
But that's what I love. One of the things I do love about UGK and the Southern, it made it cool to be country.
It did.
You know, we country down here, and it made it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We could be ourselves.
Yeah, because you know how many people used to call us Bamas, and,
right?
And they country down there, and they used to be kind of a. You know,
Look at us now.
Like, well, it was as if you're not smart, man. I remember,
Right.
Yeah, they tried to.
Right.
and that's the insulting part. But
The
it's
first
all
person was Willie D.
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't snatch my hat off my head like we homie.
You're right.
Boy, that nigga was country.
Hey, but you knew what he was saying,
Exactly.
right? And that's the thing about even black culture is that even if you don't know what's being expressed, you have an understanding.
That's what I love about the black culture.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a universal language no matter where you at,
Yes.
no matter what. It's a certain
If we
look.
can use
it's
that togetherness
right.
to get together,
Yeah.
We do it anyway.
Yeah, we do.
That- I'm just saying, let's live a life where we're looking to prioritize it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's got to be first. I'm saying, how do we prioritize working with each other, working together better? I think Pimp was on the right track.
We have to.
Where's the union?
Yeah, we have to deprogram ourselves too. Like,
Well,
some of the programming.
some of it will just have to die.
some of what?
Some of the things that aren't working.
The ignorance.
Yeah, the ignorance, the inability to reconcile what is with what you think it should be,
That part.
and that's personal work.
In other words, I'm gonna say
shadow
I'm gonna
work.
say what he said, like I said.
How you say it, man? You might
Separate
interpret.
bullshit from reality.
That part.
That's it. Man, listen.
I love the way you said it.
That's very simple. I said I'm gonna interpret your interpretation. It's only hard when you're doing it wrong.
That part.
Boy.
You do it the way it's supposed to be done.
You do it in order when you follow the process, the steps.
That's real. Go back to the basics.
True.
It works. So I'm saying the same thing with hip hop.
We're trying to skip steps.
When you skip a step, it's not my professor. UAPB. Shout out to Mr. G. He used to say, it's cheese. It's cheese. If you skip a step in making cheese, it's not cheese anymore. It's something.
Yeah. But it ain't.
But it ain't cheese. You know, and I'm really like, you know, just from a standpoint of hip hop specifically, because I'm a hip hop head. I'm a hip hop lover.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Today, it changes every day. It's not a. Come on, man.
Who's your favorite rapper of all time?
I understand.
Come on, man. You're gonna make me say Andre 3000.
Okay, yeah,
That's
say
a
that.
good one.
Like just if I have to default, but also it depends on the mood, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it depends on what's going on. I think I was just listening to Emeritus with Scarface.
Yeah. What song?
You got different artists for different
album.
moods.
Oh, you said Emeritus? Okay.
Emeritus album, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that just the energy he was on, you know what I'm saying? But it's fluid. I may listen to, right now, my favorite rapper.
Hey.
You who?
My favorite rapper.
I'm
my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
My album's out. I can't help. I've been literally listening to only what I've made so that I can make sure I'm still learning it.
Deeper the root.
Deeper the root. Deeper the root.
Let's talk about
I need a finger snap.
Yeah.
On the 2 and the 4.
Hey.
For the what?
For 214.
I need a finger snap. On the 2 and the 4.
For the what?
For the 214.
Yeah.
So even that's about, you know, understanding how to introduce rhythm. Like if you're looking for a way to teach rhythm or introduce rhythm, my nephew, he's not rhythm challenged, but I'm helping him snap on the 2 and the 4 for the song.
We do learn how to have rhythm.
That's how we learn. Listen, we don't learn in classrooms.
Yeah, that's true.
Culturally, we don't.
No.
We learn by modeling. We learn by engaging. Immersive learning is what they would call it.
And we don't learn in classrooms culturally because the classrooms were not set up for us initially.
It was not.
Yes.
So and while I understand that's where we are now, there are other spaces and moments to introduce something fun. I remember I was introducing one of my nephews to music, and I was like, "Hey, what's your favorite song right now? What if you could play it on the piano?" He's excited. I'm introducing not something that's challenging, not something that's hard, not something that's difficult or unknown. I'm showing him how to take what he likes and do something with it.
Now, are you a teacher, a professor? I heard you say something about writing a lecture. Yeah.
So I'm not a professor by trade. I have lectured. I just a couple of weeks ago lectured with UNT Dallas. I lectured at USC. Shout out to Jay Dill. And so I do want to do that, but also I'm not taking out student loans to do that.
So where did you go to college?
The University of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Already, UAPB.
Already, yes sir.
Already.
Yes sir. I was the first homecoming king ever in the history of the school there.
You ever been to PJs?
Man, come on, man.
First homecoming king ever?
In fact, so I was the homecoming king with PJ's daughter.
Damn.
When she was the homecoming queen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. PJ's, come on,
everybody know about PJs.
Hey, it's true.
If you ain't been, it's like it's a part of the city.
It's an institution, man.
Yes.
It's an institution.
I walked in the club and seen that big ass pool inside the club.
A pool, the carpet is and the floor, man, listen.
Oh yeah, it looked like a
it looked like
casino.
a movie set.
It looked like a casino in there.
It looked like a casino.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. And so, you know, even the influence of that in my songs and in my life and in my records. I remember we had a pool party there.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? And watching organizations come offline and the Divine 9, D9 and stuff like that. Watching my friends probate. You know, being there, getting the drinks, talking to, like, once again, Tiny, as Tiffany and Shayla, like all of the kids, Osric. It was a family, man. It was a close knit community.
Already.
You know what I'm saying? And
what did you study down there?
I started off in marketing, and I couldn't understand the Dr. Sajahan was my economics teacher, and I couldn't understand. So I changed to marketing.
Already.
I changed from marketing to broadcast journalism.
Already.
Yeah. Because I could talk. I
Broadcast
don't know if y'all can tell.
Oh yeah, you can talk. Yeah, that's okay though.
That's what's up.
That's why you do spoken word.
I spoke with.
That's
spoken word.
What are you working on next?
Wait.
Okay.
I have another question.
Oh, my bad.
To that.
I did.
Love Just Enough. Let's talk about that song. That not song, but that.
It's a song. It's
that piece.
I'm interested to know. I'm interested to know what you. I want to know what you felt about it.
I loved it. It put me in a. I want you to talk about it.
Okay, I got you. So no, the intention of that song is really to, and that's me. That's every relationship that worked well, and every relationship with a woman that didn't work as well as I thought it would. And it was like, this is if I can put it into words, what what my intention was, even if the outcomes didn't match it, is like, I got you, I love you, just enough to know you and trust you and believe, to trust myself so much that I have confidence in you. Like I was never worried about trust.
And I was drawn by, just the title period, because it is a fine line in a relationship and in love. If you do too much or if you do too little, you know what I mean? You do have to love just enough, or either way it can go.
Love is just enough, and sometimes love's just enough to leave
that part.
Right? So just understanding that, like, sometimes love is not enough, and love is a variable that can contribute to it being better. But at the same time, it forces me to question, who can I love first and best? And it's about me.
Love yourself, baby.
Yeah. And so I never want to give. I tell my nephew a lot of these lessons and stuff. I was telling myself first, and then telling my nephew. He's 10 years old, and he'll probably get it later. But I say,
he like,
only believe what you know. If you don't know, don't believe it.
That's true. And if you don't know, go find out. Right. Go learn it.
If you need to know.
Yeah.
Right? Because some things, even in relationships, I never gave my trust. I never really gave my trust. I have to keep my trust for myself. I can have confidence in you. I can believe what you say with me, but I don't have time to wonder if you're cheating or not. I don't have time to wonder if you're doing what you're saying. That's too much. Yeah. I don't want to wonder, and I don't want you to wonder about that. So if you're really prioritizing thinking I'm messing around or doing something, that's the least of the worries that you have with me.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Too much energy spent.
Too much energy, and we don't have enough time to do that. There are other things. I mean, and cheating is not the worst thing in a relationship when you're committed with somebody.
What is beating on them?
I mean,
what is the worst thing?
I don't think cheating is. I mean, I think relationships can survive cheating. I mean, it's evident.
Yeah,
it can.
It can. I
think it depends on the situation and what was going on behind it. You can't just be.
You can't be falling in love with nobody.
Well, but if you're doing,
and it can't be a habit.
Well, you can't. Anytime I fall, it never felt good. Right. So I made sure to you. For me, I'll say this. It forces me to use logic. And to see if this is something that can last and sustain over a certain amount of time. Right. And that dictates how we have relationships. It got to a point with women I was engaged with or having sex with. It would, even to that, I've never been engaged, but it got to a point where I would say, hey, if we get pregnant, I need custodial guardianship.
And what they say about that?
Well, depending on how they respond,
they like, you talking about getting pregnant? I'm just
right. Well, some of them that, but for me as a responsible person, that's important to make sure I address up front. Yeah. And I need you to know if that happens, what I'm gonna do and what I'm expecting to happen. And if you can't align with that, then we have to move differently. And strap up or not.
Or not do nothing.
That part.
And even based on their response, and it wasn't like a litmus test, but at the same time, if the response was, working the neck and snapping the neck and doing all the fingers and grabbing air, like I was like, oh, you don't understand me. You don't understand my intent, because I would never try to position myself to put the parent out. I'm only positioning myself because I understand how the system works.
That part. Ooh. That part.
Right. So that song is about saying, hey, my intention was never for it to not work. I always wanted to, and I'm still hopeful that it can happen,
And I think that's most relationships, that serious relationships anyway, it's no one's intent for it to not work out. It just sometimes it don't work out.
Sometimes we just run a course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or sometimes the courses come back.
That's true.
Oh,
it
yeah.
can.
You know, come back around.
Yeah, in different ways. And so my intention has always been to have the best relationship. Whatever the best relationship is. If that means we don't go out to eat, then we don't eat.
Is that the best relationship for you or for both of y'all?
Well, the best one is the one that works.
That part. So it got to be best for both.
Already.
If it don't work, I ain't doing it.
What's your favorite track?
Y'all hit me with the favorite. Today, my favorite track is
On your album.
Yeah. On my album, I like the entire one.
But what's the one? What's your go-to? What's your?
Okay, so I got a show coming up November 10th and 11th, and so I'm looking forward to doing this piece, and because it's called "Come With Me," and so it's normally like this, like it's you heard it. I mean, it's "Come With Me" is really like a anthem to get you charged up. It's like a motivational kind of speech or whatever. I'm gonna do it as a love poem.
You gonna switch the music?
No, keep the music the same. Right. I'm gonna shift my intention during the live show.
And that's the beautiful thing about spoken word, because so much of what you say is how you say it. Emphasis. I guess that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where you place your emphasis in. Okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna be fun.
So where's the show?
The show is going to be, so you can go to imdwalk.com. You can get tickets there, or go through Ticketmaster at Poets and Jazz #2 with the Dallas Black Academy of Arts and Letters.
Oh, really?
I'll be at T-Ball next Friday, and well, I don't know the date when it's airing, but it'll be November 10th, November 11th, and which November 10th is when I find out the Grammy status. So, I'm hoping for it to be
a stressful day.
I'm doing a taping. I'm doing a taping of this performance. Because I'm going to probably release that as an album. And that's the beautiful thing about poetry, spoken word, is that I can do it a new way every single time.
Oh wow!
I see you doing a Tiny Desk set in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This. What else? Come on, keep speaking.
I see it. I can see it.
Listen, there's power. And listen, words are power.
Amen.
And that's the other thing is that I'm my. It's. I remember I was doing some work with Brandy Norwood, and she was saying, D-Walk, I gotta have my feedback. I gotta be able to hear myself, because if I can't hear myself, I don't care what the people can hear. It helps me know where my positioning is. And so that model of understanding for communication helps me, is that when I shoot something out or send something out to making an album, and you share feedback, even if it's silence, it's feedback. And so that's the other part of even our culture and how we connect with each other, is that's how we stay in tune. As long as we're communicating, we can be in community.
I know, because I had a whole conversation with a sister one day. We didn't say a word.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
We was on the same. We was like,
But that's beautiful, and that's the origins of hip hop. Were a code. Our language is a code, just like coding for digital technology.
Right.
Wow.
Right. Like I didn't talk to you about the app I got out now.
Well, let's talk about it.
Well, so it's in phase 1. It's called Humind. Worked on it with my uncle.
Humind.
Humind. HUEMIND.
Okay.
Right.
Color.
And hue is color, as in the spectrum of thought and ideas. But the best way to make sure you can move correctly, and we talked about this, is being safe. In any neighborhood, any community, any culture, if you don't have a connection to understand how to be safe, then you need protection. In America, if you want to move with your ideas, the best way to protect your ideas is with the United States Trademark Patent Office. Right. So when you have an idea for a song or a script or a poem or a movie, and you need to get it protected, this app helps you identify the type of protection you need.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and so it's the first step, and it goes with the prison, formerly incarcerated people and people impacted by incarceration, with a project called Just Like Joseph.
And what's that about?
So Just Like Joseph is basically to help inmates identify, through this program and this app, ways to use their ideas of creativity, of art, of anything to get those protected, and then create wealth and generational wealth off of those types of assets.
Yeah, because we all know a lot of people, once they get out, it's hard.
It's hard. And so if you can have an idea that you have your idea protected by the federal government, even if you're in federal incarceration, and you could generate dollars from that. And so I'm saying every inmate
I ain't
that's
gotta
listening,
be asking my auntie for commissary.
you ain't got to. You're not. You're just because you're incarcerated does not mean you can't generate opportunity for yourself inside that space.
And what made you come up with
just being present and just really like. I mean, I mentioned earlier about when Pimp was just talking about having this hip hop union. Man, like we are the biggest asset to the world, and I say we because of our ideas, our intellect, our culture, our fashion, our music. Every element of hip hop is a form of media.
And a form of income.
And a form of income. And so I even have an acronym for media is messages expressed deliberately, intending action.
Well,
right? And so that connects to your brand, which is being real and never deceiving. And so the more real we are in our media, we are with ourselves, we can actually compound that and put it into a product and people will buy it and consume it.
That's true.
That's the process of wealth building.
That's true.
If you got real estate development, you can have intellectual development. And you can fund it yourself because you see everywhere black people go, we see our ideas live.
All the time.
In commercials,
All the time,
Don't
bro.
nobody
in
want to admit
NFL.
to it.
Listen, the thing that got Allen Iverson punished and banned or fined is the same thing that drives who we are right now.
Practice.
Right? Right.
talking about practice?
I just heard a comedian say, y'all got upset about Allen Iverson and missing practice, but what about players who miss entire games?
Well,
Right?
yeah.
But Allen Iverson was the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Or even
I
let's say
think he went to someone's funeral, too. You do know that, right?
he what?
I think he left to go to someone's funeral, and that's why they was giving him
so
hell.
I didn't even, right. And so what I'm saying is that often we are criticized, or you might be not even just we from like people outside of our culture, but even within our family, we're criticized for not being understood without having a chance to identify and share what we understand.
Already.
true.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like imagine somebody judging your opinion, your choice when they didn't have a let me make sure I'm saying it right. They're judging what your choice was without knowing your opinions. Your
Well,
options,
that happens every
without
day.
knowing your options.
Without knowing your options.
Right. They don't know what your
judge
options
your
were, but they judge
decisions
your decision without knowing your
without
options.
knowing exactly. And that happens on a daily. I could go on and on
Right,
about
but
that.
so I'm saying is like the things that we do actually become part of somebody else's industry and infrastructure. And I'm saying protecting your ideas is a way to do that. And so when Pimp was talking about having a union, hip hop, I got friends now in the music industry. I mean, you know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
You up until you're not, and then what happens that sustains that. And so before you
There's
know,
no
it just-
retirement plan.
yeah, there's none. And for that's most millennials.
Yeah.
That's why we understand rap and hip hop culture is because there is no system like the baby boomers had that gives us an opportunity in the same type of way.
I feel you.
Right. And it's not hustle like what they call it.
Rappers?
Suffrage Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to say who had it worse or better.
Exactly.
But at the same time, there is no system set up to
You're
take
right.
care of millennials. And so our connection to hip hop extends through that entrepreneurial lens. Right. So that's why we see having our own podcasts and TV shows, because now there's technology to drive the networks and the consumption of that.
That's true.
And we're taking taking our own destiny into our own hands. So
Absolutely.
Miss Joy Ashford here from the Dallas Morning News.
Yes, sir.
Looked like she wrote a nice piece on you.
She did.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
I mean, because some people still read the newspaper and buy the newspaper. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to put this up so y'all can
And
see
even
what-
if you don't physically have it, it's online. A lot of people read the newspaper online.
But I
Yeah.
mean, something like this, you want to have a tangible copy
Yeah.
because you are in color on here, brother.
Listen, and so
Well, I mean, I see you standing to the side like a pimp.
like a pimp, listen, a public intellect with morals and principles. And and I'm standing in the place I started. That's my childhood church.
Oh, what's the name of that church?
Camp Wisdom United Methodist Church, right off Camp Wisdom in Polk Street,
Already.
next to the library.
Oh, over about you know what I was about to say.
What?
What time?
No, that's the big church is over there.
Oakley Bible Fellowship.
Oakley Bible
yeah,
Fellowship.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Tony Evans. Shout out
Tony
to all of them.
Evans.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is nice. So how'd they find you to come across this?
How'd they find me? So
Yeah,
here's
I mean,
the other part of me.
What piqued?
So
interest in you?
I'm an industry guy. So I do marketing and public relations and understand the business. It is much different being the artist and inviting and creating opportunities like that for yourself. But I got this because I was part of a 150-year celebration with St. Paul United Methodist Church.
Which
is connected to Deep Ellum because that's part of the black. There's is really the original Freedmanstown in Dallas.
Right.
Booker T. Washington, that was the first black high school in Dallas.
Yes, Archman.
St. Paul United Methodist Church was designed by William Sidney Pittman, which was Booker T. Washington was his father-in-law.
Wow.
Right. So and he was the first he was the first black architect to build a building right there on Elm Street. Right. That's connected to Deep Ellum.
Yes.
Which is, like I was mentioned, Freedman's part of town originally. And the first black chamber of commerce in America was based in Dallas.
That's history.
On the helms of what happened in Tulsa. Right? So you got from 1922 what happened in Tulsa. You've got Black Wall Street. The first black chamber of commerce happened in Dallas in 1926.
Ooh.
If you don't know now, you know.
That's history.
Right. Maynard Jackson was one of the presidents of the Black Chamber of Commerce. Maynard Jackson is also a popular name that's connected to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right? His son, Maynard Jackson. Right.
And did we have a school? Wasn't it the school?
Yeah, Maynard
Jackson. Yeah, it's a school, elementary school. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm saying, there's history and there's record of us doing these things. So being part of the newspaper creates a public record.
Yes.
It
so
does.
that, one is that at some point my family is going to be looking for me. Right. I last year I was working with my cousins and we were looking through the ancestry.com and connecting to family members centuries ago. Not centuries, but many decades ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Not centuries, decades ago. And so the newspaper was one of the best ways to identify that. Well, what better thing can I do for my family that I don't know of right now who's looking for some clues to say, oh, whoa, I had a cousin or a person I was related to who was a poet.
And being there and not in the obituary.
Right.
Well, crazy.
Which is,
it's always.
At some point,
at
some point we will be.
You don't want them going to the newspaper searching the obituary.
And that's the only place you find
that's the main thing is making sure the obituary is not the only place they find me. And so I know how I've identified how we protect information. This is history. And so making history is significant. So I've been utilizing traditional media to now come back on to maybe non-traditional media to talk about these stories and to say the black church was where I found the best place to express and learn. So now, for us, it's a church, but it's also an incubator, right? It's also the restaurant. It's also the school.
And I would love to see the black church have the importance and standing that it had back in the day. I feel
that's the black community, period. I think the black community, period. Like you said, everybody moved down here from Tulsa, but they moved down here with a purpose. You know what I mean? And establishing the black chamber of commerce and the togetherness that the black community.
Well, I just feel like a lot of the black pastors don't have the prominence that they had once. Well, back in the day.
It's all about business now.
Well, so it's often been about business. It's been about the organized group, and I think you said a key part is that it's been a lot focused on the pastors,
right,
and not the pulpit,
or not the church.
Well, which goes back to not just the platform, but the plot of land that these pulpits are on, which is the church.
Yes.
Which goes back to us as individuals. Like when we don't have to look for leaders outside of who we are, we don't have to over prioritize someone else's ideas.
But back when we were kids,
and that's true,
we used to put that pastor. I mean, as a kid, we thought to put that pastor on a higher pedestal than everybody else, and then when we find out that they fall from grace, like anyone else, it's.
Well, we become conflicted because we don't know how to reconcile. Okay, I thought they were this, but then it looks like this. Well, I think it's just really a history of not being able to reconcile that, properly. And I think it's fair to say, and I've said this in many spaces, you got a lot more options, right? I mean, when you have more options, you make different choices.
Yeah, that's true.
So the church was not the only option. I do think the options that we've presented or just that were selected over time, I think we're realizing and recognizing that those options weren't better.
Right. And that's the thing. They tricked you into thinking that you had better options, but you didn't.
And whoever they is, like they is people within our family.
Yeah, it could be like they speaks to a whole melting pot.
They is when I told my dad, I was like, yo, I'm finna get out the band and folks on. He's like, no, don't do that. That's what got you there. Do this. Like, right? Like they is anyone who is in opposition to what you know.
I don't fuck with that.
Intentionally that you need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They always doing some hating shit. They always starting shit.
And they just don't understand what your options are.
True.
That's all.
It's real.
You know
and it's true. And it's hard to direct someone or tell somebody what they should or shouldn't do if you don't know.
Well, if you don't know the options, and if you don't have a relationship, so a lot of this is this album talks about relationships first with ourselves and then with others. So being able to identify how to have good relationships is key. Whether it's business, whether you have children, whether you're not related, whether you share a meal, like it teaches us how to do something that we're practicing.
And you guys go check out this spoken word album, Be Inspired Before You Leave Earth.
Yes.
IMD Walk.
That's it.
Y'all go check it out on all platforms.
Please do.
But before we get out of here,
okay,
we were talking before about this coat. You said you was gonna
Why you not sure with the rabbit on?
You said
first of all, that's Fox, man. That's Fox. Ain't no rabbit.
Damn rabbit.
That's Fox, man.
It's a fox now.
Hey man, say man, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, get it right.
Hey man, it's that pimping, you know what I'm saying? That ism, you know what I'm talking about? No man, it's just I heard there's a great orator, an inspirer, an instructor, a genius, a prodigy named Chad Butler.
Hey,
well,
he said,
Judge.
When you see TV, you don't know what the weather is.
Yeah, he said TV ain't got no temperature.
TV ain't got no temperature.
Yeah, you don't.
So the epitome of that energy is just the awareness that he had and that I have about media and how it works and how perception works and how ideas work and how we can do that. You know,
I thought you was gonna show up with it on.
I would. It was a little hot. It was a little warmer today. You know what I'm saying? I did show up with the turtleneck. You know what I'm saying? I got the turtleneck. I didn't wear my glasses. You know what I'm saying? I wear them because I got a bright future. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question though.
What's that?
Last question. You keep mentioning that you were in the band. You mentioned David W. Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all have a venture as a Super Bowl performer?
No, that was. We didn't do Super Bowl. We did the Macy's Parade, but we didn't do the Super Bowl.
Oh, y'all did the Macy's. Y'all played that.
No, hold on. Not Super Bowl. It wasn't Super Bowl. You're probably talking about because I was in a band in college too.
Okay.
It was the president when Obama was
inauguration.
Yeah, but I was graduated by then. But I was in the band that went there.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you played at the inauguration for Obama.
So I didn't. That's what I'm saying. I went to the school that did that when I went to Arkansas Pine Bluff. But yeah, my school. I didn't play at the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned Super. Oh, the thing about the Super Bowl was that Raheem. So I work with a gentleman named Adam Blackstone. He's the music director for most of the most popular Super Bowls. So like the last one with Rihanna, the last one with Dre and Snoop,
which
and everything.
I thought was excellent. By the way.
I mean,
Jay-Z's got
all
a
the
lot to do
haters
with that
out there.
Jay-Z has a lot to do with it, and I mean, and really just Adam, man, that guy is an impeccable prodigy of a genius musician.
Wow.
And I have the honor of like being connected with him as a person who did some business with him, but also just as a friend or brother, man. That guy has been very inspirational. So the connection to Super Bowl was that me and Raheem, right before the pandemic, we did a short documentary about the process of the Super Bowl halftime show when it was J-Lo and Shakira, and just how we were able to navigate that. I was living in LA at the time, and just really navigating that. That was a really eye-opening experience to see and just really reveal how the industry works and how the machine works. And I think that's what the connection was for that. But yeah, having the connection to that, and then right before the Super Bowl also speaks to how much has changed since then. And you know, just going from, I mean, literally we were flying from Miami back and forth to LA, editing this project just to get it out. And we were already planning for the BET Awards. We were planning for the next Super Bowl because we knew what was about to happen. And so that's also a very vital point where even the connection with Raheem became a little more solidified, but also with my guy Adam, even Troy, Jason, all of the people within the circle, even why I'm even connected with the opportunity right now. Essentially, we're label mates.
Already.
Because of a good friend, and Jonathan Anderson, AMG Records. So all of that was just a really significant time, and to be in those spaces and be in those rooms and have the opportunity to do what we have now, it's a dream.
That's beautiful, man. You got some shout outs, brother?
Man, no, listen. Yes, of course. Shout out to y'all.
I mean,
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Super tight.
Shout out to you, brother.
No, listen, man, just having the opportunity to do this, have this conversation, and have someone like listen to what I created and listen to the ideas and like really be inspired by it.
Oh yeah.
I'm finished. I did what my album says to do, was to be inspired
You
before
understood
leaving
the
Earth.
assignment.
Hey, y'all support this man.
I am D Walk. Y'all go check
Yes.
out the album. Be inspired before you leave Earth. It's
Hometown.
on all platforms. He's from the hometown.
Yes.
Okay,
From the hood.
114.
Hey,
75232?
absolutely.
Already.
Come on, man.
Already.
Come on, man. Hey,
Yeah.
support the home team, baby. Oak Cliff, that's my hood, baby, all day long.
Already.
Say, we got D Walk in the house. Oh, excuse me. I am D Walk.
Yes, sir.
He's a real super tight guest.
It's your girl Jazzy K with Super Tight TV. We want to thank everyone that's been watching. Hey, if you do us a favor and hit that subscribe button, also press the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video.
Know I'ma get some game tuned in with super tight, yeah. I get the low from Big Bobo, from the front seat, not no photos.